Yeah, so welcome to Foreigner in the Philippines. So we're just gonna have a talk about the incident in the bridge in Loay. So it's been happening yesterday around 4 something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 4 I'm not exactly, but the afternoon yesterday, and it's all in Facebook. Just we scroll down because we got a low signal on internet, and then that's what happened, and it's really sad, because we just talked to Terence this morning, and I said, imagine that we passed that bridge 3 times this month, because we didn't usually pass on that area, because that's the seaside, the other side of the Bohol, so we usually go via, if we go to Tagbilaran, we usually go via Tubigon, Tagbilaran. But what happened the last time, we pick up our visitor Mickey and Dean, our first visitor, first week of April. So we picked them up, and because we tried to give them also the other side of the tourist destinations in Bohol, so we go that way because that's the way going to Chocolate Hills. We need to pass that bridge, going to
Should really explain that bridge is the old bridge from, what was it, 1970?
1970. That's what I saw in the post.
And they're still using that bridge, even though a few years ago, not too many, less than 5 years ago,
2018, the Japanese engineers already recommended that it's not.
Said it should never be used again. So they've got the new bridge sitting next to it, which is an enormous bridge, and it's just, the bridge itself is done, but they've got the run up to it, which, because it's so much higher, and they've still got lots of adjusting to do for the surrounding area, and so they're diverting traffic and going through that bridge, and they're trying to keep it down so it's only one way at a time, but evidently that was not enough.
Yeah, so as I said, we passed there 3 times this month. So we pick up Mickey and Dean, and then because it's connecting, going to, what do you call that, if you go to the middle and in the seaside, you need to pass on that bridge, because that's the connecting. So we passed that with Mickey and Dean, and then after that we passed that. The next pass on that is when we on our way to Tagbilaran with our friend Rich and Scarlett, so we passed that way because supposedly we're gonna stop supposedly at Gindulman because we're building 10 houses over there, and we're gonna see
we wanted Rich to see that.
Yes, but it's been raining, so we didn't able to check that area, and it's high tide. So we passed that bridge on the way to Tagbilaran because we brought them to Panglao. And then the third time that we passed there is when we go to Tagbilaran again to brought a patient, so they have a barangay ambulance following us, so we need to go that way because the patients that we pick up is from Gindulman, and we need some tests, some check up to see the specialist. So that's our third time we passed that road, so I just saying, oh my god, that's really kind of, what do you call that, the horror story on your mind, what if we are there when that happened, so, but we're just praying for the families of the victims, so as of today, as what the post in Facebook, there are 3 or 4 died, and the others is already been in survival.
Apparently one was a mixed
Australian.
Yeah, a mixed couple, a foreigner and a Filipina, and the Filipina
Survived,
is pregnant. Fortunately, happily she survived, and we hope the child as well.
Yeah.
But the husband was killed. So it's one of those tragedies, isn't it, that timing is everything, and sometimes you're just in the right place at the wrong time.
Yeah, and then the other problem on that bridge is when it's high tide, the current of water, when it's low, the current of the water is very strong. So that's one thing. So aside from you're in the car, you're in the car and suddenly it collapsed, and then you got a seat belt, and then suddenly you're in the shock at the moment, plus the current of the water is just a minute. You know, it's just a
I don't know how.
second.
We
You know,
don't know
so
how that unfolded.
yeah, yeah. So that's just sad. You know, so
But there's another place which that's rather a big bridge, but when you drive along any of these roads, there's always lots of bridges because they don't stop the creek. So if the creek is crossing the road, then they'll build a bridge on it. And one of the bridges that I've been crossing several times with our trips to Tagbilaran, it actually has cut the traffic to half. So there's a barrier for the right hand side or the left hand side, whichever way you're going, which only allows for one-way traffic over that bridge. And it actually states on a sign, slow, weak bridge, which has amazed me. If it's a weak bridge, wouldn't you think that they'd do something? But it's not a perfect world, is it?
yeah. So just what you call that? That's why we need to be ready ourselves every time, right? We need to ready our soul every time because we really don't know when is the time
You're
come.
ready to meet your maker, you mean?
Yeah, you know. So yeah, so
Okay.
that's our sad news.
Yeah, I think that there are some, like the American Indian, and wasn't it the samurai, who in the morning they would get up and they would say that this is a good day to die. Not that they were rushing out to embrace it, but that in thinking that even for a moment you might be prepared to, or you might prepare yourself for being a slightly better person, so that you
Yeah.
leave this earth on a good note, happily, or hopefully.
Have a great day, and you know,
Yes, with all that cheerful talk.
live your
only thing-
life to the fullest, you know, and at the same time, you know, be always been prepared
Yeah, the
for
only thing
the better.
the only thing we haven't covered on that is whether I'm going to be cremated or not.
Stop that talking. Have a great day and God bless. Bye bye. Good morning.